29.
You're metal, dude.
9, dude.
Delivering Dogface. Delivering Dogface. I'm the dude.
One minute, dude.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fight!
There we are. Almost.
Oh, we're here. Tuesday, March 18th. This is number 29. Did you guys get a nothing burger to eat?
Oh, for
dinner tonight?
my what I ordered an Epstein Files burger and a JFK Files burger, but all I got was a nothing burger. Yeah. You're muted, brother.
Not even buns.
You got a full side of Israeli bullshit.
No, and a Yemeni massacre.
Yeah.
So what am I really complaining for?
You got something. Dosh!
You guys following
Hey.
any executions? I think Jesse Hoffman's maybe getting a final meal. It's hard to know. They hype these things up and then they delay them.
Lived through 3 executions while I was in prison, and I was there while they were there. It's not pleasant. It's weird. I'm not really trying to.
You feel the air change.
Yeah. Everybody knows when he dies. Yeah, the whole place goes quiet, and then everybody starts screaming like maniacs.
I started reading a little bit about it, and as soon as I started seeing the paraphernalia, I'm like, and they show the sanitized pictures without any people in it, and that's even more haunting. I think that's effective enough. They say that the point of the execution is to be public, to show that there is, justice, or, your actions will have consequences.
Yeah, I mean, I do understand that part. I would also use public displays.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really interesting thing, man. I remember my grandfather talking about being in the audience for a public hanging when he was a kid.
Wow.
Yeah. And like how that hit him, and talking about like the atmosphere of the crowd was like, oh wow, we're gonna see some shit,
Yeah.
And
when everybody can pretend like they're above that, but who looks away from a train crash? Nobody.
No, that's fair. Yeah.
No,
the reason traffic slows when there's a semi truck and 2 motorcycles and 3 cars stacked up on the freeway is because everybody wants to try to catch a glimpse of something that they hope to never have to go through.
And then, like you said, it just leaves an indelible mark that you don't want to be that dude. That's not you don't want to be that one.
I mean, I think that's probably why they held it publicly, so you could watch someone do the jig of death.
Yeah.
And be like, I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
Stephen King.
Well, and it's not just you just died. I mean, if you just died, that'd be one thing. You're going to scream, you're going to cry, most likely. You're going to shit yourself and piss yourself, and all the worst things. Everybody's going to sit and watch you go through all the worst things and show all the worst things, and that's going to be how they remember you. Like that. Yeah. That's rough.
Yeah. It was recently, just yesterday was St. Patrick's Day, and I meant to play this on my show, but I feel like it's also appropriate for this show. So I'm gonna pull something up here real quick, and hopefully my interwebs will cooperate.
Are we gonna watch Celtic Pride together?
Kind of.
Okay.
Kind of.
The Blarney Stone.
Yeah, all right. You guys ready for St. Patrick's Day?
Whoa, dude, what the hell are you wearing?
Dressing Irish.
Do you think this is a little much? Like, we're just trying to have like a normal St. Patrick's Day.
A little no, this is like real Irish.
Very political, man.
Political. What? Look at you guys. You guys are dressing like stereotypes. Look, you got the leprechaun hat. You got the suspenders. You guys are being racist. Promise we'll have a regular St. Patrick's Day. Okay, look, I got all the ingredients to make an Irish car bomb.
All right.
Yeah, there you go.
And then, maybe later we do, an actual car.
Oh my God! You're not even Irish. You have blonde hair and blue eyes.
No.
You look Scandinavian.
No, I'm Irish. I'm as Irish as the
Just
peas.
look it up, and Barnes is an English name.
You called me an occupier.
Okay,
All right, fine. We'll do regular Irish stuff. Okay, we'll drink Guinness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do shots of Jameson.
Yeah.
And then you know what? We'll kidnap a Protestant.
No.
Oh,
What would they do with a Protestant if they had one?
IRA music is some of the best music. It produced some of the best music there is.
It really is. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
St. Patrick gets all the attention, but what about St. Gertrude, the patron saint of cats and people who love them?
Well, St. Gertrude could come take some of my cats.
Right? Not
Yeah,
very saintly of her to not rescue Ben's cats.
Yeah. In fact,
Checkmate, Catholics.
there's a whole patch of them that just popped out in my pants drawer. On my pants.
You can't say that again.
I thought I heard that shit in the middle of the night. I'm like, is that a kitten? What did you possibly see? What did you possibly see? Huh? The ducks? The ducks walked by?
Is there a leprechaun in the backyard?
Stop!
So is it assumed that all Irish men are height challenged?
Stop!
No, there's giant fucking Irishmen. Sean Hannity is a decent example of that. He's like 6'4".
Jesus.
He's fucking huge.
That's just weird in the entertainment field. Generally, people in entertainment are really small people. It's a really weird thing I've noticed.
Bill O'Reilly's a fucking pretty massive fella too.
I remember that from a debate with Jon Stewart, where Jon Stewart brought a step stool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that one too. Yeah, no, Bill O'Reilly's like 6'2", 6'3". Jon Stewart's maybe 5'6" on a good day, 5'7" in boots.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but there are very, very large Irishmen along with, those of diminutive stature.
Well, it's interesting because then you look over at Iceland over there, and those fuckers are just giants.
And their women are tiny as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
An Icelandic girl tops out at maybe 5'3", 5'4", and her brother's fucking 6'70".
Yeah, and like 300 pounds of sheer rippling muscle.
Yeah.
Like, do you guys do anything besides throw large rocks and like charge?
No, sometimes we throw large logs.
Yeah. Like, holy fuck. There's only like 300,000 people in the whole country, and you would not want to go to war with them. Not hand to hand.
No.
It's all bad.
They've spent their whole lives fighting each other.
Yes.
They're on an island.
Yes. And then all winter they're stuck indoors and they just hang out and get pissed off. And it's probably like Irish, you get pissed, you hang out inside enough, you get drunk, you get pissed. You got to fight with somebody, and then it's just how it works.
Kind of. Yeah. No, that's fair.
Well, except for if you're on our debate show, then you can't fight with anybody. I don't know. Maybe we should be in an Irish pub at this point. I don't fucking know.
That's the solution. We do the show from an Irish pub.
Yeah.
Swimming in a hot green hot tub, just foaming up.
Just yelling expletives at everybody that walks by to see who will get in a fight with us.
Huh. Do you think we could leak Will Smith's new album?
Will Smith has a new album.
It's been 20 years, but he's got a new album coming.
It's been 20 years since the Jiggy thing.
Is it called I Promise I'm Not Gay?
Close. It's called Based on a True Story, maybe.
Remember back in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air days, he was like the acceptable black guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like completely feminized, completely gay.
Dude, okay. Let me see if I can find it.
So we're going to debate tonight, what is the gayest thing about Will Smith? Or on the flip side, what is the straightest thing Will Smith has ever done?
Oh boy. The gayest has got to be getting slapped bitch slapping Chris Rock in public, fucking over a joke. Like a bitch, straight bitch, like hand, like Yeah, it wasn't no stiff hand.
His last album was called Lost and Found.
Was that the Jiggy album?
I don't remember. I think he had a Millennium album. This is his third album.
He was all fine and dandy when he was, back when he was actually popular as a rapper. He was doing his rap stuff was kind of silly. It was, fresh DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, and it was funny and silly. Prior to gangster rap, he's actually been around. He's actually been doing that shit for a long time now.
So he sings and he dances. And he was going to play Neo in The Matrix, allegedly.
I heard that. I can't imagine that would have went near as well.
Right.
DJ Jazzy Jeff was cooler, but in the intro, the opening to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, when Will Smith is in West Philadelphia playing b-ball on the court, Jazzy Jeff is in the background. According to the story, he didn't meet Jazz until he got to Bel-Air. So why is Jazzy Jeff on the basketball court in West Philly? Why?
I had no idea there was a Will Smith conspiracy outside of whether he was straight or not.
Oh, dude, that dude's gayer than a $3 bill, man. Yeah. And he transed all of his kids and all that shit. Sent him over to fucking Diddy parties.
It's so weird how all of Hollywood's done that.
It's pretty fucking gross.
Like what at the end of the day, it really it kills your future. I don't understand what they're doing to themselves. Like, I can understand a conqueror. I can understand somebody like, Genghis Khan or Attila the Hun or somebody like that. He's running around. This is mine. Everything's mine now. And I had a fucking 100 kids and my fucking legend lives forever. I get that. I at least understand it. I'm not saying I want to do it, but I at least understand the motivation behind it. I don't understand the motivation to cutting your own roots.
Yeah.
Stop!
Maybe that's the deal they take. Like your lineage ends with you.
It's weird.
Yeah.
But I got an ass load of kids, so obviously I don't get it. and grandkids.
Mm. What happened to DJ Jazzy Jeff? I mean, he was doing electronic dance music.
You know
So
what?
maybe that's what happened.
You know, yeah. Nobody wants to see that.
I can show you what happened to DJ Jazzy Jeff, at least on a feature.
Do you know who got forgotten that I just seen recently that people forgot who he was because he just got forgotten? You remember Alex Stein's partner? Them two used to both go in and bomb these fucking city councils and act like jackasses, and there was a guy that used to go in with them all the time. That guy, everybody forgot who that guy is, and now they're posting about him like it's real.
Huh. I don't. I mean, like it because it wasn't Alex Stringer, even though he would do the same thing. Oh, I know who you're talking about. The blonde kid, right?
That one.
Corey or Cody or something like that.
They'd go hit up the same councils and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
C or with a K?
Yeah, C. This is what DJ Jazzy Jeff was up to a couple of years ago. Scratching on an R.A. the Rugged Man song.
That works.
Sock drawer, VCR.
Oh shit, 1, 2, yo. Yo, back up, nigga, back up, yo. The one in particular bringing the funk and the flavor, the way that I'm rhyming. I'm running perimeter, speaking it funny, I'm beating them dumb and I'm taking their life. And I be the one to beat them in the game of Scrabble. Wonder why they're thinking that I'm ever so nice. And I be the one that never get caught up in a scandal, cause you know the pros are so precise. And what I be doing impossible, I'm a abolish like all of them. When the button is pressed, I give it to throttle. When all of you, when I see tomorrow, when it's sudden death, I be the one to give it all I got to run it up into a speed.
Probably ought to kill that.
I'm ready for the battle any moment, any minute. I'm returning to a killer any second. I'm a stabbing, I'm gonna get it to a moving every anybody getting caught up in the show and then I hit
Is that a robot?
Try out of access or get kicked off YouTube.
I'm gonna give it some breath from all of my rhyming and go.
Huh?
I said pry out of access before we get kicked off YouTube.
Robots fighting, gotta be dope.
I think we're okay as long as we pause and we do a little bit of commentary. It's fair use.
Is this robot giving us the middle finger? It's hard to tell.
Yeah. But that is DJ Jazzy Jeff scratching in the background. They even acknowledge it in the song. So I think as long as we, pause before a minute.
We just won't play any Will Smith stuff.
It's funny because
We'll be okay.
It's funny because they've got us all gun shy on everything, and they've, for the moment, backed off. Unless you're talking about small hats, it appears they've backed off, and I don't know too many people that are getting axed right now. But then the funny thing is they just give you enough rope to hang yourself, because guys like me and Steve that had channels that got smashed during the 2020 nonsense, we remember that they had no problem going back through your old stuff and hammering you on your stuff that you had already set.
Yeah.
Like you could literally get 3 strikes all at once because they would ding you on multiple shows all at the same time, not even giving you a chance to go back and do anything about it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that was DJ Jazzy Jeff on the scratch there. Yeah, and no, dude, I've had videos taken down from YouTube on the upload. Like they let the live stream go through, but as soon as it went to upload to YouTube, they're like, no posterity for you.
Yeah. Which seemed okay when Rockfin was a safe place to store stuff, but that has ended.
I can't. I had somebody try yesterday, pull up an old Slow News Day episode, and it won't even play. Error.
Huh.
What is it with guys named Martin and being shady with crypto shit?
Right? Or shady in general. Shady with like upping the price of insulin medication by 700%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Martins are just apparently not good people.
Right?
Are there no Saint Martins?
Just the fact that he's a saint, like Patrick. Patrick was a giant douchebag, piece of shit. Went and basically subjugated the Irish people and forced Christianity on them because he was sour about his parents. So he went and subjugated and tortured an entire fucking people.
You ever see Shane Gillis go after Martin Shkreli?
Huh.
Oh, dude, it happened on Legion of Skanks. And so for whatever reason, the stand-up comedian Danny Polishchuk knows and is friends with Martin Shkreli. And so when he got out of fucking jail, Danny was like, fuck it, go on Skanks. And they had Shane Gillis in the room too. And
No
this
shit.
happened.
I do a real question. Is the Wu-Tang album great? Because I will say the album they did after what they released is really good.
The album's not that great. It's a double album, which automatically makes
Really?
it bad, right?
Is it heavy on one person in particular? Is it mostly RZA?
No, he's not even on there that much. But look, I'll send you a copy. I mean,
Whoa.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Dude, you're the man. Come on, send me that.
Oh, now you like me. Now liberal Hollywood Shane is gone.
All's forgiven.
We just had Hitler, dude.
All's forgiven. Fuck the House Buyers Club.
Yeah.
If you have AIDS, stop fucking in the ass raw. You know what's going to happen.
Or take Bactrim.
Or take Bactrim for
AIDS
3
isn't even a
cents.
fucking thing anymore, right?
What's that?
AIDS isn't even a thing anymore.
Now, not if you pull out.
Well, thank.
Mark my words.
That's going to be
Quote me on
flagged
that. Quote me
as
on that.
misinformation by.
Quote me on that. If you
How
pull
would-
out way early, you're good.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, people that even get AIDS.
It's rarer these days. Only 1% of people with HIV ever end up getting AIDS. 20% of those need our medicine. And again, you could take the cheaper thing if you want.
The guy in the polo
So
shirt
it's still
is
fucking
telling us
expensive as
about
fuck,
AIDS.
your shit.
No, it's gotten generic. So there's generics now, to my chagrin. And
Did you
still own it?
It's a long story.
Wait,
Hey,
more
go on,
chagrin?
Corey.
Why don't you want people to get medicine?
I want people to get medicine.
Yeah.
You're confused.
He's
I
telling
am
you.
confused.
But he is.
Sounds like I'm confused, but you did go to jail, so I think me and the judge are on the same page.
I mean, I think the people who end up being federal judges and federal prosecutors were the people who were hall monitors in high school. And
yeah, but the people who raise the price of AIDS medication are fucking dorks, dude. That sucks.
I don't think so. I mean, I know you don't want to get canceled again, but
I
think that
I don't know if she's gonna get canceled for sticking up.
That'd be the ultimate cancellation.
Well, no,
he thinks I'm playing.
We can have this
He
debate
thinks
some
deep
other
down
time.
I really am like
He hates
yo, that
people
was
with
cool.
AIDS.
No, I don't think you think it was cool. I don't think any of. I mean, listen, I don't think any of us think it was cool. But there is Lewis does. But I will say from a business perspective, if there is a generic available, it is a weird thing to zone in on. I think.
Well, there wasn't a generic.
If he
available.
wasn't,
that's new, Jay. There wasn't a generic.
No.
available when the-
He said from the time he bought the thing,
It's not. It does the same thing, but it's not the generic.
Bactrim
version.
sounds like it
That's
was an
not-
antibiotic. Is that what
They're
this
both
was?
antibiotics.
Oh, okay. Well, look, I did not do any research, but from what
It's complicated. I mean,
I did not.
That's
But
a
it
problem,
sounds
right?
like what I heard was you bought AIDS medicine and raised the price by 5,000%.
That's all true.
That's fact.
Yeah.
Okay, so that sucks.
I
You agree that does?
No, I don't.
Martin,
because-
Martin, your rebuttal?
No, I think
No, but why doesn't it suck? I really want to hear this.
Well, I
Like,
think if the average price of medicine
so
is X,
forget even just him saying, but like that's the thing that why
Yeah.
people hate you, right? And we like everything about you except that. That's the one. There's not a single thing.
And I'm willing to be convinced on that.
I don't
just
give a
wanna hear
fuck
out.
about
I just
that. I
wanna
gotta be
hear
honest. I don't. I'm not. It's not gonna make or break our relationship. I'm cool with you still. It's one thing. I've done some fucked up shit, dude. You know who
I don't
am?
know.
You know. Do you know who I am, doggy?
Let's say if you had a manager that was your comedy manager, and he said that,
Wayne Rada, who has AIDS. My first comedy manager.
My comedy manager would be dead if it wasn't for that medicine. All right?
He's tripping with AIDS.
if you had a comedy manager who said, you know, you're great, you're wonderful, your punchlines are fantastic, you work really hard,
Man,
the
that'd be
crowd
nice.
loves you, and you know, we're
My
gonna,
agent never talks to me like that.
We're gonna sell tickets for 33 cents, and it's gonna be great. We're gonna make a lot of money together. And then you, after a while, you talk to some people and you say, you know, I don't think this
33
cents makes
Does
thing
going to the
makes
show
sense.
save people's
Shane,
lives?
I don't think it makes a difference.
All the audience has AIDS.
In fact, I would say that it's even more important.
Hold on, let me just say this. Can I make this point? And this is I think it actually makes the point for both of you. Laughter is the best medicine.
Is that man a male slut?
And those laughs only cost $29.95 a month for gas station, everybody.
It turns out your T cells won't respond to laughter.
God damn, Marty. God damn it.
Cold as ice.
This guy's vicious. Marty. Marty, no.
Like just a dyed in the wool douchebag to the bitter end.
You couldn't honestly make a better case for the why medicine should not be obviously something that is in the realm of money making, like that the investments and things like that. When you're an investor, of course you want your investment to make as much money in return as much as possible off of what you invested in. You know, that's the entire point to having a money coming in you didn't do work to earn. That's what the most everybody at this point dreams about, is having a income that they didn't actually work hard for. And when when that is in medicine, well, that is one of the few spots where people can't do without your product, and you can really rake people over the coals. And it's just absolute insanity.
Well, if you spent 100 years poisoning people and then offered them some sort of mitigation for the poison that you put into them, and it's all the same entity doing both the poisoning and the remediation, that's a nice cornering of the market there. It really is.
Very, very drug dealerish. Very drug dealerish.
Mm-hmm.
Works out good.
No chance of a jubilee on that front.
Well, I don't know if it's. I have to wonder if it's near as bad in any other country. It's been a minute since I've went to any other countries, but you got to imagine that the obesity epidemic in the United States, and the way the people in the United States live, the way that they shop and eat, I can't imagine that the health crisis is near as bad in other places.
I might move into the topic of so-called culture wars. Some people argue that there is no culture war. There's only propaganda. And I don't know if there are differences in other countries anymore. I
don't think they're exclusive, man. I don't. Propaganda defines a culture war, and the culture war plays out throughout society for the people who are susceptible to propaganda.
I mean, I can't say that I think that there would be no issues short of the propaganda system. Yeah, I think there would still be things, but I don't think it would be to near the effect and near the level that it is. I think most people can't really see beyond their hometown, or maybe the next town over. Growing up, it was a very natural thing. I'm from a very small area, so the place I went to high school in, for most of high school, was called Groton, and the town's got maybe 1,000 people, and there was a town next door, 40 miles away, that had like 600, 800 people. And of course, the Groton guys were the biggest assholes, and the Webster guys were the biggest assholes, and the Webster cops were the worst, and the Webster girls were the sluttiest and the hottest, and and this was a fairly natural thing. But by the time you got to be an adult, you didn't really think that way anymore. And yeah, maybe you took on a more nationalist type thing, but for the most part, it's not like you wanted to go over and bomb Webster or something. You wanted to go over and have sex with their girls. Talk shit.
If there's a Pokemon gym there, then there's a reason to go there. And the
surprisingly, there was not Pokemon back then, Marcus. So I know that's a shock.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, both Ben and I were from an era that was, before all that.
Before Pokemon?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, before cell phones, before all that.
So
in fact,
Pokemon Go, the company that created that, I mean, there's some Corbett report went into that pretty well. The update to that is a company of a company somehow purchased it, has links to the Saudi crowd prince.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're spies.
Okay.
They wanted a fucking total map of all kinds of different facilities around the U.S. And so they would deliberately place the Pokemon that you were supposed to catch, like near a military installation or near a research laboratory or something like that, among other things. But
if you were trying to do that, like in the open with actual employees, there is zero chance you could have got employees into the areas that random ass people were walking in to catch an exotic Pokemon and shit. Zero chance you could have got people in. But if you're just some dumbass staring at your phone, it's shocking what weird places you can walk yourself into, and like, oh, and everybody will just look at you like, you don't belong here. Like, no, where am I? And they'll just
It's a pathfinding tool. If they point out something on the map and they don't know how humans will get there, and then they send everyone with a goal to go to a place on a map, then they're going to see, how do the ants crawl in? How do the mice get there? How do the humans find the fastest way to get there, in and out, and they can map these areas.
Yeah, it was really pretty ingenious, to be honest.
Before they added the Pokemon layer, it was connected with there was some Google Plus talk going back a few years, and they had some team where they were prototyping the software, and then once they added the Pokemon to it, everyone downloaded that app immediately.
Legendary Pokemon under the Vatican. Yeah, but that one likes to butt rape little boys, so I mean, you gotta stay away from the ones in the Vatican.
Right.
Their powers are bad, all bad.
The most dangerous Pokemon of them all.
Yeah. Nobody likes that one.
The priesthood class.
Yeah, those are the ones you don't even want to catch. You just get rid of them.
Immediately trade.
Especially if you're from Ireland.
Right.
I don't understand how they're so anti-Protestant still after what the Catholic Church has done to that country for just forever.
Well, it's the devil,
Right.
And it goes back to William of Orange in like 1032, and they're still pissed about that.
Also, they're probably mostly retarded, like Thomas Sheridan. Like they're probably along that lines.
You can't always be, I don't know, man. I dove deep into that whole like 1916 thing, and there's a pub in Santa Cruz, California, called The Poet and the Patriot, and it's just steeped in. It's an IRA pub, like in the middle of a vacation beach town, which is kind of fucking crazy.
There's some wild shit here in California.
But like it truly is a raw bar, and they had some good points. It had definite reason to feel the way they felt about all of that. And yeah, it was sectarian in terms of religion. That's where the lines were drawn, but at the root of it, it's about having a free country,
Yeah, nobody likes England.
Yeah,
nobody likes England fucking lording over you. No, I have a deep respect and enjoyment. I've done a lot of study on the IRA myself, and it's hilarious because then you see things like in this country where they're like St. Patty's Day and all these dumb fucks drinking black and tans and not realizing that that's basically a spit in the face. Like they hated the black and tans. That was horrifying, the things that those people did. And it's just wild.
Well, it's they'll call it like it's Harp and Guinness, and it's like a black and blonde or something like that. And as long as you're not pouring English beer into it and calling it a black and tan, you use proper Irish beer. It's been a long time for me since I had, went over any of this shit. But yeah, man, there's a variation on a theme that makes it okay for the Irish to drink, because it is a nice little beverage. It is.
Well, it's neat. It's a neat pour, understanding that the different viscosities of liquids, you can put them on top of each other, and it's neat, And then Guinness itself is a weird one because most of your beers are carbon dioxide. CO2 is what they're using to liven up the beer, and with Guinness it's nitrous, so it's a little weird. So it doesn't quite sit the same as other beers, so you can do some neat little tricks with Guinness. I used to own a bar, and if you get good at pouring Guinness, you can really do some nifty tricks with it.
Nitrous
or nitrogen, I mean
nitrogen. Okay.
Yeah, and then there's an Australian one. I can't remember who there's a is it Foster's maybe, that they also are a nitrogen beer, and they I believe the can on that one, it might not be Foster's, don't quote me on that, but the can has a nitrogen pill under it, so when you open the can, that's why it foams the way it does, because it cracks that nitrogen pill. And yeah,
no, the nitro pours were always a step above.
Yeah, Yeah, the head on them is real nice, and you can take and like with Guinness, you could put all kinds of designs in the head.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Like
like
spy
St. Patty's
messages.
Day, I always wanted a, you know, four-leaf clover.
It seems that California has a lot of different sets for movies or for research for screenwriters. So I think a lot of those places that exist are there to support a true story that they can turn into a movie later.
I think it's just such a large area and it's very diverse. People don't, you know, when people think of California, they think of Baywatch, and that's, you know, what's got put into their heads. But that is such a small area of California. Like legitimately, I can start driving south from my house, and I don't live on the northern border by any means. And I can drive for like 18 hours straight south and still be in California.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's such a giant place, and with that, different groups of people, they just get drawn to each other, and out in these mountains, the control that the system has is a lot more slackened compared to what they have in a city and whatnot. You know, like they don't even try to regulate what we're doing with our houses and all of our shit like that. It's not like living in a city, and that draws a certain crowd. There's our buddy that lives on the mountain here was telling us about just down south of us here, there is an actual racist bar, like, and it's the KKK bar, the copper clad kettle or something like that. And they've had news down there and the whole nine, and it's hard to fathom that kind of thing would exist here in California. When at the same time, you know, you go to Garberville and you got a bunch of old hippies marching around protesting like anything that the Republicans do in any way, shape, or form. Like they get out there and protest like anybody gives. Oh my God, there's 23 old hippies in Garberville, California that are mad about what's going on here. You know what? We best think twice. Like shit.
What's crazy is those hippies are like, we need to keep giving money and weapons to a midget cokehead in Ukraine.
Who literally his honor guard, the people that he trusts the most, are literal Nazis, which is just wild to me, because these same people will still call you Nazi as a slur and then get mad at you when you say you don't support helping Ukraine, and that it's got an actual legion of Nazis as their
multiple
elite. Yes, that's their elite soldiers.
Yeah, and if anybody doesn't know what Ben's talking about, it's the Azov Battalion. John Stewart, a very Jewish man, gave a medal to an Azov soldier at Disneyland, and they made the dude wrap his arm up in gauze so that you couldn't see all of the literal Nazi tattoos on his arm.
It's absolutely wild. And then on the same,
that's a real thing that happened.
At the same time that this is happening, you got liberals who hate Nazis, and then their party is 100% supporting Nazis. And then on the flip side, you've got the Republicans. Every anti-small hat speaker of any size is on the Republican bent. There is zero on the Democrat side, but you got Trump up there. I mean, holy shit. You might, I don't know, like if Bibi wanted a hand job on live TV, I think he could get it right now. He'd even fondle the balls, maybe reach around and give him the poke in the butt. You know, I don't know.
Let me push your stool in.
Yeah.
Under the desk.
Like, holy shit. Like
Netanyahu.
This is the most Israel first. I just in shock and awe. And like I said, their base, and this is something I found interesting, because typically, historically, the Republicans have supported Israel, the base of the Republicans. You got a bunch of dumb fuck Christians like, Israel's our most important. Yeah, the Bible says we can't go against Israel. A bunch of fucking retards. And that's usually where that stands. Well, that apparently has changed because I think the anti-Israel wing of the Republican, as far as their base, is larger than those supporting by far now. So you've got the liberal side supporting Nazis, the Republican side supporting small hats. Their base doesn't support any of that. It's fucking amazing to watch. And World War III is going to be the most confused shit as these people are freaking wearing a swastika, screaming that you're a Nazi.
So it's just fight for your right to party. There's a party going on, so we're going to fight.
I think it's just a fight for your right to force other people to do what you want. It seems to be, and it doesn't need to make sense anymore. It just do what we told you, or we're going to fight.
So I played this on the show this morning, but it's pertinent to the discussion that we're having. This is former managing financial director of Teal Capital, Eric Weinstein.
Oh, I believe I've seen this.
Yeah. And look, dude, I'm not trying to pick on a guy, but if your Jew horns are poking out of your neck and your cheek, maybe you should get that shit looked at. Maybe you should.
Does he want us to play connected dots on his face?
Right? Tic-tac fucking schmo.
Do I want these people to succeed? Oh my God, you have no idea. Do I want to help? You have no idea. The problem is that I don't want to do it in terms of these cults of personality. I don't want to do it in an ugly way. I don't want to be triumphalist. I don't want to just, stick it to people. And there's way too much of that energy. And I'm also going to just be very honest. We have a situation in which anti-Semitism and other forms of bigotry are tolerated by both the left and the right to get votes. And if either of these groups would just kick out bigots like the Groypers or the pro-Hamas left, they could have at the middle. And it's completely alienating that these two sides won't call out their problem.
Right. I don't see the symmetry on that, in that, to me, the left has been largely, and the Democrat Party largely has been overtaken by, let's say, the Hamas thing. On the right, I don't see Trump really placating those people. I don't think he's...
It's not a question of placating. It's a question of you actually have to call this stuff out. What I see is dual signaling. Mm-hmm. I see huge signaling, hey, we're with Israel, we're with the Jews, we're on the side of good against evil. And I see this idea of we're also going to signal to people who harbor very bad suspicions, particularly the Groyper movement. Don't worry, we're going to signal to you too. And they're going to kind of speak out of both sides of their mouth, playing this cryptic game. And I wish that they would just be very, very clear. And because think about it, you have this opportunity to go after the middle, like reasonable people.
Yeah.
Get rid of your extremes. What you really want to alienate the people who would like to be part of it?
It's interesting. We've discussed this for years, but yeah. I'm just not that concerned about that. And it seems to me that Trump has grabbed those people in the middle, as illustrated by, say, Bobby Kennedy and Tulsi and Rogan and me, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep.
So we may just
move the embassy to Jew. Look, I don't want this to become exclusively Jewish, but it's just I am getting so much abuse out there from people on the right, and nobody on the right stands up. I'm just like, wow, you guys are a bunch of cowards. You can't even stand up for your friends who you fought shoulder to shoulder with. And in particular, I'll be entirely honest, one of the most
when did Israel ever fucking
in my life is that when you look at people who've been fighting the war longer than you are, and then you say, well, you didn't endorse. Like, did you ever call? Did anyone ever call? Never. Not a single phone call. Nobody cared about my endorsement.
Eric, I have to tell you, you don't get any apologies or well, you don't.
Nobody called Eric.
I think.
Who did anybody call what face?
I think we're all waiting on the Tesla phone.
Face? It's unconscionable.
These calls can only happen on a Tesla phone.
What the fuck was that self-indulgent, narcissistic, fucking revisionist bullshit, though?
There is maybe one person on your cabinet that wasn't in the APAC superstar fucking team. What are we doing here?
I can't place that accent. It doesn't sound very Irish. Huh.
It's definitely not Irish. But yeah, no, the fucking Weinstein over there. You're not going deep enough in the paint for Israel. Have you bombed Iran yet, Donald? I don't think I can support you if you're not bombing the people I want you to bomb. What's wrong with you?
We did have a lunar eclipse the other night. Did anything happen? Did any happenings happen?
I had like a hard on for 6 hours.
Six hours.
Yeah.
Full moon.
Yeah.
Was it a Blue Chew? Do we have a new sponsor for the shows?
Oh, the sponsor for the show is the Swollness Company. Okay.
Is that an aubergine?
It is an aubergine, yes, with a smiley face and some guns. Yeah, the Swollness Company is our fictitious sponsor for our fictitious wrestling league, the IRA, the Independent Review Alliance. And yeah, guaranteed 12 hours of hardness. Yeah, if you don't experience 12 hours of hardness, please consult a physician because you're doing it wrong. Swollness Company.
Do chiropractors count as physicians to consult?
Of course. Of course. It's all covered under your insurance. Just,
Sports
contact
medicine.
a representative.
Okay.
Yeah.
Massage therapy.
Like massage therapy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this fight for the middle that Eric's talking about, is there even a middle anymore? Can anyone remain just like, meh, I don't know. I hear you talking about your ideology, but I don't need to have an ideology today. Is there really a middle place for people to hang out?
No, there's not. The middle is people who are so fucking checked out that they scan 10% of a headline and feel like they're read in on the entire situation, and then they go back to working 3 jobs just to feed their fucking children.
So everyone's gone through some pipeline and end up radicalized. It's like, what radicalized you? Assuming that everyone is going to be radicalized by something and maintain a radical position.
I mean, look, dude, there's very few people that are as radical as Eric Weinstein, as far as that goes, because Donald Trump gave a blank check and unlimited support to Israel. His children are being raised as Chabad Orthodox. His grandchildren are being raised as Chabad Orthodox. I don't know what fucking planet this dude is living on, but it has no connection to reality whatsoever. There's never been a more Israel first administration than the Trump administration, not just this time around, but last time around.
Yeah, they fucking called him the king of Israel.
They gave him a silver crown and minted a coin for him.
It's absolutely gross to watch, and I'm just shocked that people are shocked about it this time. Like, you guys were surprised? How did you not know this was going to happen? Like, he was real clear about it last time. And he ain't holding no punches back this time. Like, straight up, he appears to be trying to gonna beat And this is funny because Roosevelt, the liberals love Roosevelt, and he's apparently going to try beating Roosevelt when they talk about a dictator and just writing orders. Roosevelt made almost 4,000 executive orders during his terms.
My girl just texted me from the kitchen saying you're definitely getting kicked off of YouTube tonight.
We are definitely getting kicked off of YouTube.
We're playing clips of people talking, saying their own words, and then we're saying things that, actual people have actually said. I could pull all of it up. I could.
Yeah, I remember when you got kicked off of YouTube last time, Steve.
Yeah, for showing people speaking in their own words, saying what they meant to say.
And pulling up the CDC's website on air.
Yeah, that was in hindsight.
Did the CDC talk about bonus hole at a
No.
meeting?
Yeah, we got smashed once for talking about bonus hole after the Attorney General referred to women's vaginas as a bonus hole, and then we got nailed for then discussing that.
It's the primary hole.
Yeah. In fact, if you don't have that one, then we are not going to go to the same bedroom at all.
Yeah.
That is a prerequisite.
Yeah. No, it's the primary hole. It is.
Yeah. The other one's a bonus.
Yeah. There's no other way to look at that.
Yeah. Just silliness, which, I understand that they were trying to make out basically, because then tranny men don't have that second hole. So that's the bonus. Like, no, that's what tells you that's not a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a man with a mental condition, that he is ill. And that doesn't mean that he needs to live some kind of a horrible secondary life, but also on the same token, the dude's mentally ill. Maybe don't start shaping society around the crazy shit coming out of his mouth.
We really shouldn't be trying to shape society out of the most deranged out of all of us.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's crazy or controversial or anything like that. Seems to be a pretty straightforward approach.
Yeah. If you are incapable of taking care of yourself or functioning in a normal way, you should maybe not listen to that person about how the rest of us function. Like, we seem to be doing all right. You do not. So it's a problem.
And again, like, that's, hate speech to people.
Yes.
Like, maybe I don't go around enforcing my beliefs on anybody ever. I may share some of my opinions with you, but that's usually because I think they're funny, not because I think you need to dedicate your life to it. Don't enforce your beliefs on me. Don't legislate it as far as that goes.
Well, it's just wild because the hate speech I can even handle more than they exist. They exist. Nobody said the crazy dude didn't exist. We said it's not a woman. Like, everybody can see him. He's there. He's acting like batshit crazy. We see it.
Loud as fuck.
Yeah, you're loud as fuck. Can't hardly miss the shit. So we know that the person exists. So quit pretending making this weird straw man where you're acting like we don't realize these people exist. We just don't agree that that there's a different sex than what they are.
Well, that's the thing. If you're arguing from a point of imagination land, then all of your arguments have to be rooted in imagination land.
Well, except for they got weird rules then, because then if you hit them up with, well, can I be a black retiree? They're like, no. Okay, so where are these arbitrary rules you guys are making up? Because you can be something you're not. Why can't I be something I'm not? And they don't ever understand that's different. How is that different? Can I be Spider-Man? Can I be Moby Dick? My wife thinks so.
Right?
Do we have a list of thought terminating cliches? Maybe we can rank them. Most powerful thought terminating cliche of all time.
I'm gonna have to say, historically, for us, anyways, it's been anytime they paint you as a white supremacist nationalist, your opinion's now null and void, and then they are free to wish harm on you or even try to harm you. You know, recently you've seen an uptick of there's some group, and it's the same group, and they show up with wearing all black, and they have everything, all their Nazi paraphernalia in all red, and they show up in a fucking U-Haul van, and they've showed up at a bunch of places across the country. You know, and these people aren't at all representative of anybody real. They aren't the actual citizens. They aren't people from the community. That's why they had to show up in a fucking U-Haul.
Yeah, I like the Patriot Front people are funny too, because they have the matching khakis and blue shirts, and it's the exact same color scheme as the FBI. And then they're trying to present themselves as white nationalists or whatever.
Yes.
Dude, okay, Fed clown. Okay. I don't know how much weight that carries. I don't know. At least the Proud Boys were like, yo, dude, we're all about the thick Latinas.
Did the Pride Boys attend all the Pride parades?
I don't know if you've ever hung out in or around a group of Proud Boys, but if you bring a fucking chubby ass Latina into the mix, it's like they're kryptonite, dude. It is. I went to a stand-up comedy show with Josh Denny, Anthony Cumia, and Gavin McInnes. They were on tour together. They came through Vegas. Josh Denny was on the show. He was like, I'll fucking guest list you for it. You know, +3, +4, whatever you want, bro. Just, you know, come hang out. And it was like the third of the room was in uniform Proud Boys. And so my friend Sugar went with me, and her best friend, who's like 5'3", 195, came with us. And dude, I've never seen guys suck in their guts, open doors, offer drinks fucking faster. A chubby Latina is Proud Boy kryptonite. It is. I promise you. It is the fucking wildest shit. They love them. They fucking love them. And it was all ma'am this and ma'am that, and can I get this, and can I hold that, and can I do? Yeah, it was fucking wild, dude. Absolutely hilarious.
And chubby Mexican girl knows how to cook.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. You know, diminutive Mexican girls know how to cook too. I have one.
If you know you're getting good food, you'd be, you know what? All these dumbass libtard women, if they could at least figure out, hey, if you would have at least just kept cooking food, a dude will do damn near anything if you give him food. Yeah, we're like dogs. We really are. Like, oh, you got food? I'm your best friend. Oh, you want me to come through a flaming hoop? Okay, give me some food.
Yeah, give us a fucking scratch behind the ear or something like that. That's all.
Yeah, it don't take much.
Throw some shit in a bowl. But yeah, dude, and this is pervasive, at least across California and Washington D.C. That's the only places that I've had encounters with the Proud Boys. Is DC and a bunch of different places in California.
Is somebody doing this because we were talking about Russian stuff? There is actual Russian in the.
Oh no, that's Greg fucking around.
Who's this BC Tercero? I can't read Cyrillic, damn it.
Talking about Wagner.
Do you read Cyrillic?
Not well.
Not well.
Not well.
I don't. My cousin took Russian in high school. He used to could read Cyrillic. I don't know if he can at this point.
I could speak it decently at one point in time, but I never could read it. And my speaking it was more swear words than anything else because that's what I was getting said to me. Oh. See, that's my version of an angry Mexican. I've dated the Russian girls.
I do have my email address on screen tonight. If Gregory Walker wants to email and schedule a hangout with us on Tuesday night.
Gregory wants to come hang out with us, do some debating.
Well, the email address is available to contact at alanmarcus.com.
Apparently they weren't dog people, Tim Timony. I agree. Yeah, Russians are. I like Russians, but I wouldn't date one again. That was they're way more intense than I am, and it's funny because most people consider me extremely intense, and not compared to no Russian. I'm not like straight up. This girl got mad, and so she tells me, her and her friend, when you're ethnic like that, they tend to go and they shop amongst themselves. It's a smart thing. So all the Russians, go to the Russian grocery store, they go to the Russian coffee shop, blah, 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 Russian gas station. And so she's at the Russian coffee shop with her cousin, and her cousin's boyfriend calls the coffee shop and it makes the owner go out and hand her the phone and asks the owner who she's there with. And then goes out and hands her the phone, and then tells her, when you're done, you need to come home, and all this. And she's telling me this story, and as she's telling it to me, I'm like, wow, that's fucking crazy. That is crazy. And after she tells me, and that's my response, I'm like, wow, that's crazy. She goes, you do not love me like this? You would just let other men spend time with me? You don't love me? I'm like, What do you mean? Like, I thought that you could go have coffee like an adult without me monitoring it. I kind of thought that.
Coffee is a hot beverage. That's an adult beverage.
Yeah, you and your cousin can have coffee without me concerning myself about it. Yeah, I actually thought that. And when I didn't get jealous about things, she took that as I didn't I didn't care about her enough to be jealous. Like, I was like, I don't understand what's going on right now. And her dad, in the time that we dated, and we only dated like maybe 4 or 5 months, I don't know, maybe 6. Her dad got into two or three different fights in the high school parking lot. Like, how the fuck you keep getting into fights in a high school parking lot, dude? Like, are you like walking around just challenging people or something? What is going on? Yeah.
Is he fighting high schoolers?
No, other parents.
Not picking. He's picking on parents in the parking lot.
Yeah. Apparently, that picking your kid up was heated moments. I guess. I don't know. I was kind of, I couldn't understand most of what they were saying, like, anytime, even when you learn to speak another language, being able to speak it and have like a retard conversation where you're like, hello, what is your name? Oh, my name is it, but as soon as they actually start speaking functionally, then it's beyond, if you don't speak that language, you catch like 1 word out of 5 because your brain doesn't translate it quick enough,
And they're not speaking slowly and enunciating for slow listeners to understand.
Well, and it's just when it's not your native language, you don't. Your brain's got to translate every single thing, and that takes time.
So the United States of America has an official language now, and is it English? And if it is English, do we have an official dictionary with the official English words in it?
And does it include like slang?
Ebonics or borrowed words? Yes, I would like to know what the official English words are.
Mm-hmm.
And we can get that printed on paper to have a hard.
We would also like to know if we can spell color just COLOR
without the U.
Get okay about it like the English and put that U in there for no apparent reason.
Color.
Yeah.
I just got handed a giant plate of food, so I may be.
You guys are manifesting food tonight? What's the secret to that?
Well, this week it's my wife is gone, and Brian and I are taking turns cooking. We're because the wife had to go help her parents pack up their stuff. They are retirement age. Oh, that's a layout right there.
It's warm food. Wow, warm meal.
Yeah, homemade pizza.
Pizza
with sourdough crust.
Yeah, no, the spoilage goes both ways, dude. It does. It does.
Yeah, my wife don't have to go out and do. Like, my wife will actually cry if she touches poop. And for any of you that don't understand, I literally live in a swirling world of poop. So it takes an act of God damn near to keep that away from her and have her live in this like eye of the shit storm that the rest of the world that she lives in is.
The separation from outdoors and indoors doesn't quite exist as much as we want it to.
I seen somebody talking shit about Andrew Wilson, which is fine.
There's a lot of people doing that lately.
Yeah, but one of her comments was he looks like he would smell like Drakkar Noor in cigarettes, which I found that funny. But then she said, and outside. And I was like, does this person think outside smells bad? Is that a bad thing? That is so fucking weird. Now outside is bad smelling?
Outside smells different every day.
You talk to any rancher, dude, outside smells like money.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the inside smell is what makes me nauseous. The artificial smells of cleaners and sterilizations and like hospitals and dentists and hotels, they don't smell accommodating in any way.
And then because we live very much with our environment, it come, by like 9 o'clock, we don't put any more wood in the wood stove. So by midnight, the house is whatever temperature it is outside for the most part. So we're used to sleeping in that. And then you go into the city like Christy's at her parents' house, and she hasn't been able to sleep for a couple nights because in her mind, in the middle of the night, it's hot as hell in there. Like, why is this house so fucking hot?
It's hot and the air smells like potpourri from 1987.
Or it just smells like forced and fake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, I can't. I hate forced air heating. It's such an unnatural thing for me. And I spent, almost 20 years in the Santa Cruz Mountains and, 5 years, 7 years off grid and a bunch of other places where the only thing that you had was a wood burner. And
I bought fucking wood and put it in Steve's fucking fireplace.
Yeah.
Taking a fight with HVAC guys.
Dude, I kind of miss that. I miss that cabin. That was a cool little place.
It really was.
A giant ass fucking back deck.
Right in the redwood forest, just so gorgeous.
Yeah. Right at the top of the hill, there was only like 2 properties that were uphill from us.
How close are you to a Mount Rushmore there?
That's about 16 hours.
Right.
Away from Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Will there be a 5th head added?
Yes, and it'll be Donald John Trump.
I think they've already got a mock-up of it ready to go. And he's on the right. Of course, he has to be on the far right. Symbolically, if he was on the left, that would just be weird.
But more accurate.
Yes. If he could just be behind them.
Right.
We could just add some more.
Legitimately, if he could get all of North America under one label with him as the fucking head of it, I could see where he would feel like he should have a place up there. Like he'd basically double the United States. And the amount of natural resources that is in Greenland and Canada is crazy. It's just super hard to extract.
That's what the robots are for.
Yeah, but they don't work well when the oil is solid.
So we just need some kind of human body with a robot mind, and then we can solve that problem. I think Elon Musk promised Neuralink by 2026. He said in 2016, I think he said within 10 years. So we got a few months left. How's that Neuralink project going?
I mean, they put a couple in a few people.
Yeah, didn't they ask for volunteers like 6 months ago?
After they killed all those monkeys?
Well, there was the monkeypox going around, so.
Oh, maybe that was it.
Could have had something to do with that.
Why are you trying to blame it on Elon, Steve?
Well, because his own paperwork suggests that. I don't know, man.
I think monkeys are going to lay eggs before we'll have a mass
Are
adoption.
you against my Starlink or something just because my internet's better than yours now?
I was picking up on tones of jealousy.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You caught me out. I stand before you a defeated man.
Shit. And then the best part is, as weird as the world is now, like I've always hated fucking Tesla, cars and like the Tesla batteries and shit. I thought they were garbage and I spoke out against it. But now all of a sudden I'm a libtard if I do it. I'm like, you motherfuckers, fuck you guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Just, show me all of the ways that you can be dumb out loud. Do that. Do that. That's great. It's fantastic.
It's now almost a responsibility
I have something for this,
to attack a Tesla truck. If you see one in the wild, if you see the Cybertruck or any of the Tesla vehicles, it's almost your civic duty as an American now to do something about it.
I just point and laugh and yell faggot. That's been my go-to.
Are they all tracked like Pokemon Go players? Is there some sort of OnStar system and a database of like Find My Car, where someone can easily
Oh, yeah.
access the database, and all the known Cybertrucks can be found and eliminated by players who are interested in that score,
Yes.
playing that game.
I got to do this.
Folks, it's Donnie Clown Show down here at Easy Elon's used car lot, where the prices are low, 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 just like the stock market. Come on down and get a Tesla before they catch on fire. Oh, I mean, before they're gone.
And that's what I call a fire sale.
Yes. Yes. Well, it's interesting because they really had to switch the crowd on that, because the tech bros had already bought up what they had, and they didn't realize when you're looking at actual finance outside of the tech sector, liberals have no money. They're the spongy group who want government money and to give them stuff. So you've got to dip into the conservative crowd who has already been pre-trained, especially the Judeo-Christians have been pre-trained to if they're in with something, they need to pay. They've been pre-trained on that one. I would actually assume that the Cybertruck sales are probably substantially better at this point than they were pre him switching teams.
Did he replace the White House lawn? Was it too green? And he didn't like the Green New Deal?
Oh, no. He loves the Green New Deal. Elon does.
I thought that they were going to pave the White House lawn and then turn it into a Tesla dealership.
I mean, that might be coming.
And there was pictures comparing these guys and cars to German manufacturing about 100 years ago.
Volkswagen?
I think so. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
So there's this way to view the current situation through the events of World War II. And now people are just placing the pattern on top of the thing that maybe isn't there.
That pattern of the liberals and the hippies all support Nazis. We should have known that when they all tried driving Volkswagens all the damn time. Like, the signs have always been there.
Is there a letter that they could write? An apology? Something with guilt involved?
I don't know. What I heard was that, and this isn't confirmed. There's no official sources, but I heard that the way Ricola became so soothing to the throat was through extensive testing, much of which was used as evidence in the Nuremberg trials, where they took these poor small hats and they did horrible things to their throats, and they had to go through and until they got that Ricola formula correct. They just tortured a lot of people. More throat cancer than cigarettes. It's just a bunch of little small hats with just talking with little machines, and but still, Ricola is around as a company, and now the effects of what they've done is forgotten, but the soothing, delicious lozenges are still available.
It doesn't say anything about that on the package. I mean, they're Swiss and Swiss alpine herbs. It's they're neutral. They don't participate in wars. So I don't know what you're saying at all there.
Hate speech. Hate speech.
Hate speech against our sponsor Ricola.
Oh, fuck.
I just hope that guy who talks with the gravelly voice in Congress, if he could get some Ricolas, that'd be good for him. Has anyone checked in on him tonight? I mean, there were some files released just a few hours ago. How's he holding?
The last I seen, he was stuck somewhere in between. He was playing pivot man in a circle jerk between Conor McGregor and Bibi.
Netanyahu?
Yeah.
Okay.
Milikowski.
Yeah, and Milikowski. Yeah.
Milkowski, is that a Polish name?
That's BB's actual last name.
Okay.
They all changed their names to make them sound more like Mid-Eastern, but yeah.
That way they don't sound as Polish. If his name was, if his name was fucking Ole, we'd all catch it.
Right?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can Yeah.
You're breaking up bad, Steve. Didn't hear what you said there.
He's
Sven.
looking for it.
Steve would be Sven.
I would, for sure. Let me pull this up just in case, we haven't got kicked off of YouTube yet. And by the way, I have like thoughts about the dude who's talking, but that's not pertinent to the conversation, and it has nothing to do with the information that he's putting out at this point.
I show you what I'm about to show you, your mind will be blown. You're going to be blindsided. Every single Israeli prime minister has a fake name. Did you know that? I was just talking about Ben Gurion. Do you know what his original name is? It's Grun, Gruen. He changed it to make it sound more Jewish and sound more Middle Eastern. Do you know what Netanyahu's real name is? It's not Netanyahu, it's Milkovsky. I swear to God, go and look it up. You'll find Milkovsky. That's his real name. Remember what Israelis are. Israelis are European Jews. They don't come from Palestine, but they want you to make you believe. They want to make believe and make you believe that they come from this area, that they are indigenous to the land, that they're so Jewish, right? Even though they have no connection. So they changed their names. Here's another one. Moshe Sharat. His name is Chertok originally. You've got Levi Eshkol. Eshkol was Shklonik. So he changed it from Shklonik to Eshkol. Then you have Yigal Alon.
To be fair, if my name was Shklonik, I would change it to some
Israel's
other
first female prime minister. Her real name is not Golda Meir. It's Mabovich. Mabovich.
Golda.
More like mad bitch. We have Yitzhak Rabin.
Oh, that's
right?
a joke.
His name is not Rabin. It's Rubitsov. Are you seeing the pattern? These are Eastern European names. Not Palestinian, not Jewish, not Middle Eastern. They're Eastern European. Okay? They're not Palestinian. They don't come from this region. Yitzhak Shamir. He's a great one. Yitzhak Shamir, he's on the wanted poster because he was wanted by the British police in Palestine for terrorism. But they don't tell you that. So Yitzhak Shamir, his original name is Yezernitsky. Yezernitsky. Shimon Peres, Persky. Netanyahu, I already told you, Malikovsky. I think I said Milkovsky, excuse me. It's Malikovsky. Never, it's the same point. Ehud Barak is Brog. So B-R-O-G. Brog. He changed it to Barak. Ariel Sharon. His original name is Shinerman. Shinerman. He changed it to Sharon. And Yair Lapid, who's you still see him changing posts. His original name is Lampel, so he changed it from Lampel to Lapid.
That last one I wouldn't have caught as anything. It's like neither of the things meant anything to me, but the rest of them, 100%.
There's a lot
it's super interesting because it's specifically Eastern European, not Northern European. So it's all Eastern Bloc outside of Russia. And for those of us that know, the small hats did a little revolution in Russia back then. And so there's a lot of those types floating around in that area and not in Northern Europe.
Yep.
Shiner Man.
Shiner Man.
It's a superhero name.
The country's so fake, they had to name it Israel for you to believe it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it Mel Brooks who released the History of the World Part 1 and then Part 2, and I guess they're writing Part 3 currently in real time.
Are they?
I think it's happening. I don't know. Check the news
By the
every
way,
morning.
just randomly, shout out to Joe from Legit Bat, who's been texting me for the last 15 minutes.
Joe,
I guess my tinfoil hat episode got put out tonight. I thought it was coming out tomorrow.
Oh, so this is kind of the release party we're having.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joe, you're gonna have to bring your lovely wife here, and then we'll get Steve here. Is how
With
that's gonna
my
have to go down.
lovely fiance, or maybe
Yeah.
wife at that point. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll make some food.
But yeah, Joe's a badass, dude. I love those guys. They're right.
Yeah. We've got like 2 shoe boxes. We can put some stuffing in them, and you guys can sleep in them.
And they'll be signed a kitten once they enter
Yeah,
the property.
yeah. You'll go home with some extra cats. They already have animals, but we'll send them with some extra. That's the rule. You can't leave without taking a cat.
But you can't leave a cat either. It's not take a
You
cat.
do not leave a cat.
It's
We
not
do
an
not.
animal exchange.
It is not an exchange.
Okay.
Steve don't even know it, but he came and stayed for a few days. He's got a cat at his house. He don't even know about it yet.
It's true. It's true. I hear it at night.
Yeah.
But it mostly it's like what aliens mostly it comes out at night mostly.
Well, what it's waiting for is to have some kittens, and then it'll use them as anchor babies, and Steve won't be able to kick them out.
Yeah, my girl wants a cat. She does. And a tiny dog. I don't understand having like not a real dog. I can't get my head around it.
If your cat's larger than your dog, I don't know what to say. It's kind of off-putting.
You don't have a dog. You have a large rat. It's furry.
The time I do understand having the small dog is at night. I understand it then. Because at night, when fat ass over upstairs there flops over, he crushes me or tries to push me off the bed. And like if you just had like a little like cat size, the cats, they just kind of wedge themselves into a little spot, and it's all right.
Balderson is the Oprah Winfrey of kitten giveaways. That's true. That's true. What up, hometown? What up, hometown? A-town?
Yeah, we have so many more cats than you guys ever see. So many more.
Stealth.
The ones that you guys see are usually the ones that like I'm friends with. There's a whole bunch of them I don't really know that well.
When the stream ends, they just emerge from the shadows.
Hey, Lucy, you gotta fucking get on the Rumble shit for the show, or Odyssey or BitChute or something like that. You should definitely be in the chat. In fact, you should probably be in the Telegram group. We have an awesome AM Wake Up Telegram group. It's the fucking best. And like several months ago, I was like, I don't really do anything on Thursday. Maybe I'll do a voice call on Telegram. Ever since then, there's like a nonstop voice call on the Telegram group where people it's a community building exercise. People get to know each other, all that kind of shit. They share information that's absolutely fucking incredible. Like, it's really fucking cool what's taken place over the last like year or so that we've had the group. So
this one's my red nose pity.
Aww. What's up, knucklehead?
Yes, Miss Freya's. She's such a goofball. Yeah, ours are actually mixed. You wouldn't know it, but apparently they got red nose in them somewhere. Because Tyr and Scotty, it's been all their puppies, and they've had like like 26 or 28 or something that are all blue nose. But then they had 2 red nose. and then
there's fucking Gomez, who's like the absolute fucking the exception to all of the rules.
He made his dad. His dad was feeling like a fatty after Gomez was here. Gomez was looking lean and mean. Meathead was like looking like a roly poly.
He was backed up.
Yeah. Well, we didn't know that, and it's shocking how much skinnier he's gotten since he got neutered. Yeah, he was definitely backed up.
Yeah.
You don't. That must have been horrible. And obviously we didn't notice it that much. I don't live in the city, so I don't see my dogs go to the bathroom. I just let them outside and they go and do what they're doing. And fortunately, Tyr and them, they're real good about it. They go out to the edges of the property to go to the bathroom, so they're real good about that. Yeah.
I think the FTC was just fired, so we can use whatever colorful language we want to use.
Woo!
Right. Well, that doesn't mean YouTube doesn't have their people hard at work searching for us. Speaking of which, so I didn't realize that the setup for monetizing and all that they lessened the requirements for
it's a carrot and stick thing where people are of the opinion that they could stream video games or stream a hobby and then monetize it somehow. And some people do get to do that for a while.
Here's our red-nosed boy. He's real neurotic, but he loves Steve.
Mm-hmm. Hi, McLick. What's up, buddy? What's up?
Yes, you're the licky boy.
Yeah, Gomez is attached to my girl. He won't leave.
Well, you already
side.
said Proud Boys like thick booty Latinas. You already said that.
Yeah. Well, you trying to say my dog is a white supremacist?
He has all the hallmarks. He has all the markers.
He does.
I'm not saying there's a fire, but I'm saying there's smoke.
It's funny, dude. I can get up. I get up at like 4:30, 4:45 in the morning and go do show prep and stuff like that. I can get up and go walk out of the bedroom. And the moment her feet touch the ground, actually, the moment she pulls covers off of her, he's like, "Mom's up." And then he's like right at her feet. It's kind of gross as far as that goes. Asshole, fucking turncoat, rat shit,
traitor. Not you right now.
Have you checked in with your crypto trading friends lately? How are they doing? Are prices down across the boards?
How are crypto prices going? Gold is skyrocketed over 3,000 an ounce now.
Yeah.
Which we're going to go gold panning here next month. So if you want to go do that, Joe, you can go gold panning. We're going to go out as a gold panning crew.
You can just my
dad's coming.
Pick it up and put it in your pocket.
My dad's coming. He's been watching Discovery Channel or History Channel or whatever channel shows the gold shows.
Mm-hmm.
He's been watching them. He's ready. 3,000 an ounce. Fucking Jesus. It don't take much of a piece of gold to be worth something at 3,000 an ounce.
Right.
Like cripes. And I told him, I said, all the hallmarks for the economy crashing have been there for quite some time already. And the big one for me has always been because I remember this from the 08 crash. I owned a house prior to 08 and owned a house into that bubble and watched as all that went down. And when the housing price, so as a kid taking economics in econ, we were taught that 25% of your net income was the most you wanted to spend on housing. And when an average person's income, and I'm not talking about some high school kid working at McDonald's or something, when a person that's got a normal job, when 1/4 of their income won't rent them anything, when that won't get you nothing but a dumpster, the economy is about to fucking overturn, and we're about to have another crash. It's just how it is. Like at this point around here, if you want to rent a 1-bedroom place that you're not living with 6 other people, you're going to pay $2, $3, $4 grand a month.
Yep.
For that place. Well, ain't none of these kids making 16 grand. That's a quarter of your net, not your gross, your net.
Mm-hmm.
Like Christ. So that when it becomes unsustainable, well, then once these places can't rent out, all these people who had the credit to purchase them, that were buying them as passive income, they can't make the passive income payments because they weren't doing it right and extend themselves out and then count on the rental in order to make the payments, and all of it just falls flat.
I know this is off topic, but I fucking love this habanero sauce. I dumped a bunch of the habanero sauce on some barbecue sauce and mixed it up and had it with some steak fries. Dude, so fucking good.
Do you have a strategic reserve of this sauce?
We're adding it to the regimen of the barbecue sauce that my friend and co-host on Blunt Force Teal and I are creating, which is the Hard R Barbecue Sauce Company, because we believe that the best food is made with a little bit of bigotry.
The best jokes are,
if you don't have a cook who's willing to or a chef or whatever is willing to cuss you out and hurl a bunch of racial slurs at you while they're serving you food, it's not going to be as good. The best food truly is served up with a side of bigotry. So at the Hard R Barbecue Sauce Company, we strive to put both flavor and racism into every bite.
It makes it tangy.
Yeah. I'm not kidding. She's already whipped up a bunch of batches. She'll be at the Third Eye Carnival in Nashville with some of them for you guys to sample with Texas Slim Beef Initiative freaking meat.
Yeah,
tickets sold out. Is that event still available to attend?
Yeah, you can still get tickets. It's an 18-acre property. We could probably fit 700 people there. So the 200 or so that we're gonna get, more than enough room for it. There's a family camp area, a rowdy kid camp area. Everybody, you make noise all fucking night. There's really no neighbors. 10 bonfire pits. Live music, live podcast, live comedy. I don't know what more you could ask for. $90 for the whole weekend.
Can you pay in crypto?
You can.
Trump coin?
For sure.
Melania
for sure.
coin?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to pay double if it's Melania coin, but yeah.
But you'll work out the exchange rate at the moment of exchange.
Yeah.
What about Haktua coin?
I think that ship done sailed. What a fucking scam, dude. What a scam.
Do you remember the days of Kickstarter when people were wanting to make potato salad? So they went to Kickstarter so they could get money to make potato salads.
Yeah.
Gomez.
Now you can make a token and use it as a fundraiser, but not explain it as such. So it's a financial vehicle for investing, but it's really a fundraiser for the people making it.
That's what the whole like DAO thing was, right?
The decentralized autonomous organization.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's DAO. It's like religious. It's sacred.
Oh,
but it fails. Ethereum is still a thing, I guess, but after the DAO failure and Vitalik Buterin is just just look at the guy. Just look at the guy. If you see the people behind your favorite coins, does that inspire confidence in you or not?
What about Rays? Do you accept Rays?
I don't know that they're still printed anymore.
Yeah, no. It's a defunct token. In fact, they just very recently, when you went to go set up a live stream and you selected free, it would say you will only be paid an RAE token. Now it says you will only be you can only receive tips through USDC. Like they've fully scrapped the Ray token. And they left a lot of people holding the bag on that too.
And the stable coins that will never be audited. That's a feature, not a bug.
I don't know. Is that a reality? I don't know.
It's such a murky area. It doesn't bode well for people who don't understand the technology. There are claims that the President of the United States of America does not understand exactly what Bitcoin does. Bitcoin's the first. If you don't understand what Bitcoin does, then how can you understand what Trump coin does or Melania coin does? So his advisors suggested that perhaps this is a way that foreign governments, corporations, other entities could provide funds anonymously, pseudo-anonymously, without having to declare that they're the ones behind the fund transfer. But then if they show up in person and they can just say, hey, does this number mean anything to you? And they could, match it in the back. So there's a lot of campaign finance stuff happening, but it's not under the laws of campaign finance. And you were talking about the spongy liberals who need their money. Have they used cryptos? Have the oligarchs and the ruling class, have they used this new financial technology to their benefit?
The asset class, yeah, absolutely. Especially when you look at the $700 million investment into the U.S. Treasury by Tether. You look at Larry Fink from BlackRock encouraging the Bitcoin strategic reserve after previously saying,
That just blows my mind. Bitcoin strategic reserve. What the fuck?
Yeah.
That does not mean that the Federal Reserve or the White House or Congress has decided to purchase new Bitcoin or old Bitcoin or used Bitcoin, but rather that they have amassed through asset seizure a large amount. And now they just want to gather it all around to kind of figure out how much they actually hold. But they don't plan to buy anything, and they certainly can't sell any of it, because if they were to sell it, well, imagine if they sold it all at the same time. Wouldn't that bring the price to zero? So in a way, isn't that a strategery way to control an asset?
Oh yeah, it's all about currency manipulation. It always has been.
So when Gavin Andreessen, his email address was put on the Bitcoin homepage, and he became the front man for this. And In-Q-Tel CIA agents said, come on over and give us a presentation about this project you're working on. And we don't get an answer from our debate guest on that. Just kind of silence and crickets.
Well, it's an it's an uncomfortable subject.
But it was never hidden. It wasn't like it was not available information. Gavin Andreessen publicly many times said out of transparency, yeah, I'm going to talk at In-Q-Tel and CIA, and they're very curious about this project. And he presented to them what this new technology was about and how it solves the double spend thing, and if it's like cash, or if criminals could use it. And he gave the entire presentation. He played with them the entire time. Other people who were going outside of that box and were thinking more creatively, they were harassed, they were arrested, their projects and businesses were shut down. It was sort of a shakedown. So now in 2025, with this new asset class of digital technologies, FinCEN, as I like to call it, financial. What is the FinCEN? They have all these buzzwords that they like to use, and I don't think Trump really cares to understand all of it. But he understands gold, he understands wealth, he understands money, and he understands power.
Well, and if you really look at it, with the fiat monetary system, they the fractional reserve, they weren't putting up anything of value of their own anyways. Like, say you went to go get a house loan, the down payment that you put down is the money that they use, and they fraction that and give it back to you. Mm-hmm. So they've been selling you thin air for years. And so honestly, this fits right along with it, because now the only thing of value is the money you put in to buy the Bitcoin or whatever. There is no innate value in and of itself.
It didn't start with blood, sweat, and tears, but now people are taking their blood, sweat, and tears that they put in at a workplace for how many hours a week, and then they get a paycheck, or if they get other USD funds through Social Security or whatever benefits, lawyers, JG Wentworth, whatever they get, they take that money and then they put it into the digital assets, the digital currencies, because that's something that was advertised to them. It's like the stock market is old, it's broken, but this new thing, anybody can invest in it. So these new investors are taking the money, and instead of it trickling down, they're just throwing it up in the air, and it's being vacuumed up to the top. So it is a transfer of wealth, but in what direction? The people that have the money are magnetically attracting the money towards them, and the people that don't have it are gambling their lives away
on like shitcoin, meme coin.
Yeah.
Which is no different than
a coin. Which, look, dude, I still maintain, why would you not call that Spitcoin?
Yeah.
Like, that's the biggest marketing miss of the last year, as far as I'm concerned.
Still waiting on Monica Lewinsky blunt wraps.
They did have like Monica cigars. They did. That was a branded thing like 15 years ago or something like that, 20 years ago.
Call them Monica Lewinsky blunt wraps.
Yeah, it'd be a presidential blunt for sure.
Blue dress blunt wraps.
Horrible.
It might leave a stain, but you'll remember it.
And I jumped on Friday with Verbal Combat. It was horrible.
Oh.
I got into a 2-on-2 in half the debate. The guys did not understand what the difference between a fucking victimless crime in a victim's crime. And I had
Okay,
to
so the
explain that.
topic that you guys had some differences on, you agreed that you had differences of opinion on the topic of what a victimless crime is.
No, whether a victimless crime should be decriminalized.
Okay, so decriminalizing victimless crimes.
Yeah, and they didn't understand what a victimless crime was in any way, shape, or form. Took half the debate to get that far with them.
So then
Fucking dumb as
how did
shit.
the debate go towards a guy in a trench coat outside of a public school, elementary,
Yeah.
Recess center, the gate around it? It's where they have their recess, and now there's a man in a trench coat exposing himself, deriving pleasure from this, and somehow that's where the debate went.
Yeah. Yeah. And I said, well, that would be criminal because you can't do things like that of a sexual nature around children. And then they's like, you're smuggling children in there. I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? It was in the setup. Like, specifically.
When you leave your house, there are eyeballs of all ages, and they are looking all over to see who's wearing clothes and who's not wearing clothes.
Yeah, there's a victim. Like when you're looking at, if you go to court, if there is a second name besides the state in your crime, if the state brings up a witness besides a police officer, then it's not a victimless crime. If the state is the only one being offended, it's a victimless crime. Victimless crimes can range from anything from a speeding ticket to smoking a joint out in the woods by yourself. Like there's a bunch of things. If there isn't a victim, I would contend that it's not jail worthy.
I've seen videos of police officers driving official company vehicles and doing very poorly, including such maneuvers as pulling in front of 18-wheelers and then slamming the brake in front of them and not understanding.
Those people are crazy.
Physics, I guess.
Well, okay. So do you make a distinction between potential for harm and no harm at that point? But what constitutes reckless and what constitutes responsible personal behavior? Like
if you leave your house without having a body cam live streaming your every action, then you are engaging in reckless behavior.
You have a phone. It's recording everything you do anyway.
The fact is the world's dangerous, and people engage in reckless behavior in a million different ways and die from it in a million different ways every day. So no, I would not criminalize somebody for reckless ass behavior. There's definitely, now with this said, part of that was decriminalization, meaning you don't go to jail for it. That doesn't mean that things are always acceptable either. It just means you don't go to jail for it. There are other methods of curtailing different activities that people have. You can find them. There's social pressures. You could, as the city, make them move out of the city. All kinds of different ways that if somebody isn't fitting in with your society, you can pressure them to either do so or move to a different area where they will either be, around people that don't care or like them. Like, there's lots of ways of doing these things without putting a person in jail, unless there is a victim. And then absolutely, I'm down for, you should put this person in jail now. Now there's a victim.
And those people should be castrated.
Where did we jump to this? Which people?
This is how I win the argument. We take one topic and then the result is we castrate sex offenders.
Hey, Marcus, you need to make me an admin on the YouTube channel so I can post links.
Yes, sir. Let's confirm your identity here.
I would be against some sex offenders being castrated, although in for real, most of them I would just hang outside of the courthouse and leave them dangling there for similar reasons that we discussed earlier in the episode. And so I wouldn't even do that, but there are some that, yes, I would probably see that as an option. Yeah, that is not a victimless crime. There was distinctly a victim.
Well, and just, punching somebody in the face over and over and over and over and over sometimes doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I know a lot of people would find that strange because I'm all for making some things not criminal, but then going way further than most people would in other instances. And that's, you're just gonna have to fucking live with that. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, mostly I'm a live and let live type person, but then there's some that just too deviant, too much of a bad person. And those people, you just got to be done with it. I'm not a real big jailing type person. It doesn't make any sense to me. I'm not sure how that typically is going to help anybody.
I mean, it'll help potential victims down the road, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Like, you've just now made this person an absolute, leech on society. The person can't even help it at that point. When they get out, they're still most likely going to be deviant. And now they're where they were deviant before, you've made their circumstances drastically worse, most likely.
Yeah.
So that doesn't typically make people start doing things that are less deviant when you make their living in their social situation much worse.
No, that's fair.
Doesn't sound like you're arguing in favor of the universal basic income.
No, I'm definitely not arguing in favor of that. That doesn't make any sense to me in any way, shape, or form. I don't understand how that works. Where does this money come from?
Right. The economic model of the economy is boom and bust cycles with managed inflation through usury.
Got off the gold standard anyways.
Right. So that's all expected. That's all expected in the cycle. So things will go up, things will go down over time. It's the roller coaster. We have to ride it out.
Yeah, unlike that, like Gregory Walker was talking about earlier, did gold go up or did the dollar go down? The gold value tends to stay very reasonable. It seems that the purchasing power of gold stays about the same. So it's the value of the dollar that changes. I would posit, though, that recently gold has risen above the deflation of the dollar. And I think that's due to what's going on economically and fears of that kind of thing. But is Steve Zamad? He has the power. But I would say that it's recently risen above the deflation of the dollar, that it is exceeding that. But I think that's due to people realizing that we're about to have an economic crash and they have no place else stable to put it. Especially when land, which was the gold standard of stability, they, in the 2000s, through the different games that they've played, have made it so land is absolutely not stable. And these pieces of property that are selling for $400,000, $500,000 right now aren't going to be worth $100,000 in a year.
Yeah.
Not with the cheap building materials they use on these new homes.
Dude, just the land price. Like my home, my home I live in right now, at one point in time, this property sold for $385,000. I spent 80 on it. So at one point in time, somebody spent 300. I don't know if that ever actually got, but that was the agreed to price or whatever was on the paperwork. $385,000. Fucking like all these properties up here are like that. You go look them up and you look up their history. In the height of the green rush, these properties were fucking crazy prices. And now that money's not there. So the property prices aren't there either. And so if you went and spent, in fact, some of these people around here, like there's one lady up here, she sold the house to some folks and she really wants to kick them out because they haven't been paying their bill and paying their rent. But the problem is this has went on long enough that she'll never even get remotely close to what she sold it to them for. So no matter what, she's taking a giant hit. She has to depend on trying to force them into paying that amount because the property's not worth fucking even a quarter of what she got for it originally.
Has she tried drilling for oil? Drill.
There is no oil underneath this property.
No essential oils.
Dude.
There is water. Lots of water.
Well, water holds value.
Yeah.
Having clean water is a valuable thing.
It is.
Boop.
Definitely why we bought these properties, because the heavy availability of water. Like you can't live without it.
That's why the price of avocados and pistachios are so high, because of all the water it takes.
Almonds are a real monster for water.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's all like gold country where my kids are and shit like that. Oakdale and gold rush country and shit like that. It's all, there's no fucking water table. It's all been sucked dry to feed almond farms and the other various tree nut farms and shit like that. It's gone. It's gone.
That's horrifying. Horrifying. Thankfully, there's no land around here that's worth growing. So once they quit growing pot on it, they ain't got no real value anymore. Not like that. You need flats to grow fucking that kind of trees and stuff. And they're trying to fix all the waterways here to try and get the salmon to come back and get the salmon to come back up the eel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You got to fucking reseeder the entire fucking riverbank. Like you got to give them an area where they're going to want to be. And when they took out all of the bankside cedar trees and shit like that, it destroyed the entire fucking ecosystem.
Oh, quit grumping at the cat.
How's
You guys want to see Gomez's mom?
Oh, yeah.
Scotty, baby.
Oh, Scotty.
Scotty. Scotty. Who's a baby? Come here, Scotty. Who's a baby?
Yeah.
What is mamas? What is mamas?
That nose is a different color.
No, their nose is the exact same nose. Come here. Come here. Fucker. Come here. All the way up. I'm
colorblind. I can't see noses.
Scott. She's a baby. She's a baby. Here's Gomez. There's old Gomez.
Okay. Come here. All the way up. All the way up. Come on. Come on.
Babies.
Come on.
Lap Pibble.
YouTube loves animals. Rumble loves animals.
Hey, buddy.
Where's your baby?
Okay, that's my ear hole.
Where's my babies?
Rockman, I don't think they care about anything but sharks.
Whales.
That's your mom. That's your mom. I don't want your tongue in my face. That was a lot, dude. That was a lot.
It's a lot of love at one time.
And yes, I know Mix.
Okay.
That's Mix.
You're dismissed.
So the hard R habanero. Does that have?
It's gonna be a hard R, shouldn't it be like maybe a Reaper? Reaper seems more of a hard R.
I mean, look, you know, it's in development. It is.
Is it gonna be in a like an aerosol container?
Just saying habanero seems kind of soft for a hard R, you know, that's
a little pump action, you get a little squirt action.
Right. It's all gonna look like a all gonna look like a Molotov.
Okay.
just saying you know, fucking habanero, that's like something I could put on my breakfast eggs. Like you know, that's you can eat that before work. Like you get yourself some nice Ghost or some Reaper, and you know, you don't really want to have limited access to a toilet for the next couple hours.
Yeah, Lucy, the dog that Ben was holding up gave birth to the dog that I was holding up. They're definitely related.
Yes. Yeah, that's Gomez's mom.
Yeah.
She's the mama's.
Yep.
Yeah, his dad just had to get his potatoes cut off.
Nah.
So no more babies out of him.
Potatoes cut off. He's not Irish
By the way,
anymore.
if you live in Northern California and you have like a blue pit, I really want to breed my dog with your dog.
Before he has to lose his potatoes.
Yep. He's got a few more years, but you know, he's almost 4. Dude, he's almost 4.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's
crazy.
Fucking crazy.
So
Into
fast.
April.
They say it isn't really a problem till they're like 7. So what happened was Tyr couldn't go to the bathroom. He couldn't go pee or poop. So
is that the dog years dilemma?
Yeah, hit that middle age, and nobody was giving him the prostate blowjobs. You know, he wasn't getting none of that. So Issa was giving him plenty of blowjobs, but I don't know she was having trouble getting that paw.
Yeah.
You know,
that what it was.
She could get it partway in there, but that dew claw would catch up. Nobody wants a dew claw in the sphincter.
That's fair. That's fair.
Dew claw in the sphincter.
Which is going to be the name of my next album.
That's a single. I think if Will Smith is still in the studio.
The Will Smith story.
Dew claw in the sphincter.
Oh, fuck.
Dew claw in the sphincter. That's what we're sampling.
Yes. Not two claw, dew claw.
Dew claw in the sphincter. The Will Smith story. A collection of story songs.
Yes. P. Diddy gets honorable mention.
Dude, they're trying to tell people that Sam Bankman Fried is Diddy's celly. And he's doing podcasts from jail.
What?
Yeah.
You know what, dude? The first time I seen fucking old boy that tried to off Reagan fucking Hinckley singing a song on YouTube, I you know what? I gave up. I was like, oh shit, anything happens now. All right.
Yeah.
Anything goes. We're in the broken timeline. We fucked up. We made a left turn at Albuquerque. Nobody even laughed. I don't even know if that's an actual real joke anymore.
I got it. I did.
No, Warner Brothers has been censoring all the Looney Tunes stuff.
Yeah, we actually can't say that on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
Yeah, no, Sam Bankman Fried did a whole fucking like 45-minute long podcast with Tucker Carlson from prison because we live in a fucking cartoon.
How do you get anywhere with the name Tucker?
Your dad works for the CIA and you're just greenlit everywhere you go.
That does help.
Are they hiring? Do they have a
they're hiring, buddy.
an online application process?
Absolutely.
You know what? My morality is too high, and I think I don't think you're passing the personality test, Marcus.
Is there something? Do you have feedback for me to improve the personality?
No, I think your personality is fantastic. I don't think they will think so.
This is a couple of years old, but this is an actual CIA recruitment video.
Miss Cisgender Millennial.
When I was 17, I quoted Zora Neale Hurston, "How It Feels to Be Colored Me," in my college application essay. The line that spoke to me stated simply, "I am not tragically colored. There is no sorrow dammed up in my soul, nor lurking in my eyes. I do not mind at all." At 17, I had no idea what life would bring, but Zora's sentiment articulated so beautifully how I felt as a daughter of immigrants then and now. Nothing about me was or is tragic. I am perfectly made. I can wax eloquent on complex legal issues in English while also belting Guayaquil de mis amores in Spanish. I can change a diaper with one hand and console a crying toddler with the other. I am a woman of color. I am a mom. I am a cisgender millennial who's been diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder. I am intersectional, but my existence is not a box-checking exercise. I am a walking declaration, a woman whose inflection does not rise at the end of her sentences, suggesting that a question has been asked. I did not sneak into CIA. My employment was not and is not the result of a fluke or slip through the cracks. I earned my way in, and I earned my way up the ranks of this organization. I am educated, qualified, and competent, and sometimes I struggle. I struggle feeling like I could do more, be more to my two sons, and I struggle leaving the office when I feel there's so much more to do. I used to struggle with imposter syndrome, but at 36, I refuse to internalize misguided patriarchal ideas of what a woman can or should be. I am tired of feeling like I'm supposed to apologize for the space I occupy rather than intoxicate people with my effort, my brilliance. I am proud of me, full stop. My parents left everything they knew and loved to expose me to opportunities they never had. Because of them, I stand here today a proud first-generation Latina and officer at CIA. I am unapologetically me. I want you to be unapologetically you, whoever you are. Know your worth, command your space. Mija, you're worth it.
That's a real thing that they put out.
She was allowed to wear a shirt that had a fist going into a bonus hole for that entire video.
Yeah,
I got to wonder if specifically they are looking, because this is why I don't think you would make it, Marcus. All three of us have too much direction. That, I think part of why they go after, that she listed right there, she's a mentally broken person. She doesn't fit or understand society, and I think that that's very needed in those people. It's not that we are particular society people, but we're particular society aren't, because we have too much direction. Then there's a whole group that doesn't have direction, that they become very morally ambiguous because they don't really understand the society and their place in it. Like
hey, not to derail, but remember last week when we played the Paul Harvey God Made a Farmer thing? So 2 days later, it was Connor's birthday, and he co-hosted the whole show with me. And so I played that for him, and he was like, damn. Yeah. Yeah. But it was fucking wild to co-host a show with my kid.
No shit. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That
It was
is really
the
cool.
whole fucking 3 hours on his birthday. That's what he chose to do.
That is cool as hell. And yeah, that's God Made a Farmer. That one's hard to beat.
And he called me old and gay.
Old and gay?
Yeah.
Nice.
Because
Solid.
I called him half a fag because of his haircut, and so he had to escalate.
Solid.
Yeah.
My son, I don't think any of my sons will ever do it, but I got a grandson that I'm real close to that one night he called when I was on the show and I threatened him. I was like, next time you do that, I'm just putting you on the show with us, kiddo.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't do that anymore because the last time my girl called and I tried to put her on a show, it was the day her dad died.
Oh,
I was
Jesus.
like, oh, never mind. I'm an asshole.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Every time Pasta calls, I put him on the show.
How many dads does Pasta have?
2.
Pasta
And not
get-
like the sitcom.
Pasta get the full ghosting also?
What's that?
Pasta still get the full ghosting also?
The full ghosting. No, man. No, he's coming up to the Third Eye Carnival in a couple of weeks.
No, I'm talking about from Andrew Wilson.
Oh yeah, no, they haven't been boxing yet. No, there, as far as I know, there's no set date whatsoever for that to take place. Yeah. You would think if you have like 2 fairly, out of shape, rotund gentlemen, they would be able to engage in a safe and secure round of fisticuffs for no fucking reason whatsoever.
Yeah, it would definitely look like the old boxing clown type thing. When he went out shooting with Jake Rattlesnake, he had the fat man coverall thing going on where you could tell if you're from an area where it's really cold and you have to wear coveralls, if you're a fat man, you end up in this pinch because you either have to buy coveralls that are giant or else your belly takes up the whole center and then it sucks your legs up fucking and makes you look ridiculous. And that's where he was the
So that's the whole plot of Despicable Me.
I have never seen Despicable Me.
You've seen the movie poster. It's the guy who's trying to get his pants on one leg at a time.
Is it the one with the little yellow dude, minion dudes? Is that Despicable Me?
Yeah, I think they're in the movie.
What? Yeah, I do a better job with my wife and I are really on the same page with things. So when my grandkids are here, we don't watch none of that nonsense. We're really selective about what we let the grandkids watch when they're here. Most of the time they're outside playing, but if they have to be inside, we're pretty selective about it, and we certainly don't watch things like that. So I haven't had to watch shit like that since my kids were little, and I didn't know better when they were little. And then when I did, actually, that was one of the first conspiracies I ever studied out. It was after Lion King and Little Mermaid and Aladdin.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like the dark side of Disney or something like that. And I read it and I read all about the different conspiracy things. And I went and I looked at those movies, and yeah, it does spell out sex in the clouds in Lion King. My ex-wife's dad has the VHS with the penises, and I'm not even one of them people that sees those kind of things. Like, those were not spires, those were penises. Like, it was insane. And so I tried to fight with my ex-wife's family and my ex-wife about not having the kids subjected to all that, but that was a losing battle. I did not win. But with the grandkids, I don't have that problem. This is why you can't have a wife that's got substantially different morals than you. You'll end up with kids that you can't get along with and that don't.
That might join the CIA at some point.
They might join the CIA.
Right. With the fist of filth on their Mija shirt.
Yes.
A woman of color. Are there colorless men in the world? Does everything have to be seen through a dichotomy of this or that?
You know, race pimping is a multi-billion-dollar industry. It really is.
Do colorless men need to choose a color?
I mean, you could go outside and get a tan, but, you know, it's about the best you get.
Some people can. Some people can.
You darken up a little bit.
On my arms. Like, the rest of me goes from red to white, like white to red. That's the two colors. That's the two options I have.
Translucent and transparent.
But my arms, my farmer tan, that actually sticks. And I get a real farmer tan. My booty stays covered.
Is orange a color? Are people racist against orange men?
Yeah, that's the most hated color of man. I gotta admit though, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, when all the girls were doing the orange spray tan, I thought it looked dumb too.
the Midwest tanning booths.
Yeah, I thought that looked dumb. So I might be racist against orange too. I don't know. I always wondered that though. Why do you guys want to look orange? It's orange. It's weird.
The spray tan shit is ridiculous. Like, you really do. You look like a fucking, I don't know, like a fucking Mattel doll.
Yeah, super weird. And
Non-human.
So popular in the Midwest. You go out, you know, and you don't notice it when you're at the bar because the lighting's not good enough. But as soon as you get the lights on, you're like, the fuck?
Hi, big head. What are you doing? Nobody likes dogs. Nobody likes dogs. Nobody.
Pain in the ass dogs. So Jim Bob gets back Friday, and then he's going to set up a date.
So it may not be as early as next Tuesday.
Probably not. He don't get back till Friday.
So looks like we have an open spot available for Tuesday. I've got an email, contact@alanmarcus.com if you want to RSVP. We'll try the opt-in approach.
Right? And yeah, if you're, you know, if you're in the Telegram group and you feel like there's something you want to debate, let me know. And then Marcus is in there, Ben's in there, everybody's in there. Just, you know, be vociferous. Do that. We encourage it.
It's okay. We won't dislike you.
We can plan our Will Smith listening party.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'll be a big album. It'll be huge.
Yeah, it'll be back-to-back Drake and Will Smith listening parties.
That was what I was gonna do with my time. That is. I wouldn't rather watch cats fight or grass grow or
Well, you can watch paint dry and cats grow and grass cut itself while listening to the soundtrack of your life from Will Smith.
No, I can't. I just can't.
Not a multitasker.
What are you doing, dog?
Well, I live off grid.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I step away from this little area, all my electronics don't work. And so then for me to go do all those other enjoyable things, I have to
You need like a flat wax thing that spins around with a needle on it to listen to the sound. You're a vinyl guy.
Did you see that apparently CDs are garbage now, or DVDs and CDs are garbage now?
Due to the rot.
Yeah. That there's some kind of rot
Cost-saving measures by large corporations to create a disc that has planned obsolescence. That's a conspiracy. That's not real. That's just a theory. You'll own nothing and be upset about not being able to watch Looney Tunes cartoons on streaming.
Which just tells you that, see, this is how ahead of the game Marcus is.
Yeah.
Marcus, he skipped out on the CDs. He's got VHSs. There ain't no planned obsolescence of a VHS. Those things aren't going to deteriorate. In 80 years, he's still going to be able to pop in his original copy of Goonies.
Magnolia.
Magnolia. Yeah, that was what I would have guessed. What exactly? Jesus, that's thick.
It's 2.
What is Magnolia?
2 tapes. Magnolia. We'll watch Magnolia sometime.
No, we won't. No.
It's a nice movie about flowers, so we can watch flowers grow.
No.
Still got Shazam.
You've still got Shazam?
Yeah.
That's good.
Somewhere over there. Like Will Smith played a genie too, so maybe Will Smith will do a remake of Shazam.
Yeah.
Bring back the boombox. Maybe a sequel or prequel. You think is Sinbad on good terms with Will Smith?
I have been to Marcus's house, but not in his room. I imagine his room is like a vault of hard drives and other odd and memorabilia, because you can have any odd conversation and Marcus can reach over just like he did there and whip out something that matches what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Little gnomes that hand me stuff. Little helper gnomes.
That's handy. I have a wife. She's taller than a gnome by a little bit.
A little bit. Not a lot of bit.
No, not a lot of bit. She has a grandma, and I think that grandma only made it to like 4 foot or something like that. And when she originally got brought home, she was in a literal shoebox and would stay in a shoebox above the stove. Like, tiny peoples.
Yeah. Which is weird because on the opposite end, the Dutch are usually like the Dutch men are giant.
Well, she's Danish.
Or Danish. Yeah. The Danish men are fucking giant too.
Yep. Yeah.
The
Danes
women
are small.
very fucking diminutive though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, everybody in her family is just tiny.
Yeah.
Tiny people.
My girl's 5 foot in shoes.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in the land of the Lilliputians when I go over there.
Yeah.
Oh, dong, dong, dong.
You have to squat to use the sink.
Oh, dude, their shower, because their dad hand built the house.
Mm-hmm.
So their shower, I swear, hits me right in the nipples. I walk up and I'm like, I like to try and wash my beard. I got
scrunch down a bit.
Pressure wash it.
Yeah. It's hilarious. Because yeah, nobody else, and that's plenty tall for everybody there.
I think we'll have enough time to go through all the files that were released. 5 or 6 days, and then we can report back what we find next week.
I mean, they gave some binders with empty pages to a couple of conservative influencers. That's all they've done.
Yeah,
as far as I know.
There ain't nothing getting released. There isn't nothing happening. Like that was all just big shit talk.
And they didn't opt for a wiki release model where they just release documents slowly over time so people can go over them.
No,
I think that ship sailed.
Okay.
As far as that goes, like you can maybe find new leaks on Cryptome or Pirate Bay.
I think releasing the Silk Road guy was pretty much that was the end of that.
Is he going to ask for his Bitcoin back?
He should. He fucking should. They stole it from him.
Mm-hmm. So if he's pardoned, then that means he's the victim of a crime committed against him, and everything should be returned to him and more due to his time and wages
Well,
lost.
I don't know, what do pardons mean anymore? Apparently, they don't mean anything anymore.
Well, Trump did the. Okay, so Trump went on Truth Social yesterday or something like that and was like, the pardons for Fauci and Hunter Biden and the Biden family are void. And then he went on camera like 10 minutes later and he was like, well, it's something for the courts to decide. But the whole MAGA cult is just going to run with Trump voided the pardons. And they're not going to give a fuck about whether or not the process plays out that way. So it's a reality TV administration.
I didn't expect anything more. I didn't expect anything less.
Yeah. In case there's people, because we are on YouTube, in case there's people that are still like, hooked into that two-party illusion, the government is going to lie to you, and the government is never going to solve the problems of government. So we're clear.
Yeah, the one thing you can guarantee is that both the parties don't give two shits about you.
Yep. They might try to throw you some scraps every now and then, and that's to keep you placated so that you don't check out from them and go live your actual life.
Well, thank you, Caldy.
What are you fucking whining for, dog?
Stream's getting long.
Yep.
About that time.
Okay.
Figure out what a pardon is.
We will try and pick a fight next week, guys.
Help us pick fights.
Yeah.
If you have a social media account, fucking get in there on our behalf and be like, hey, you should have a conversation with, and see if you can't encourage some of these fucking deep fried pussies. Get in the pit for a minute. And I understand that, calling any potential debate guest a deep fried pussy is probably not, diplomatic, but I don't know.
You'd think it would at least get some people riled up.
It would elicit a response, but it elicits no response. And in fact, they're like, I'm going to go as far away from you guys as possible. I call out Andrew Wilson once a week for being too much of a faggot to debate Balderson, and he won't even respond to it.
And now Karen B's joined in on it too. she's also fucking basically saying the same exact thing you are, just posting it. Like, what the fuck, dude? You'll waste your time with all this other bullshit, but you won't debate somebody that's fucking actually got fucking some intelligent thoughts. That's
no,
strange.
he just wants to punch down on whores.
Yeah,
that's pretty easy, dude.
Shooting fish in a barrel, kicking kittens on a stage.
It's going fucking hunting with Dick Cheney and also being Dick Cheney.
Yes. Oh fuck. Oh, that was great. Yeah,
dude.
it's pathetic. And you know, honestly, what's weird to me is none of them even blocked me. Jay Dyer hasn't even ever blocked me. Like, and I talk mad shit too. The only person that's blocked me in like the last 6 months is Thomas Sheridan's bitch ass.
Dude, I've got blocked by almost everyone that's agreed to debate us that I booked.
Yeah.
Then they turned around and blocked me. No, I'm not gonna. No, I'm not gonna come on. No.
I'm Jay Dyer. I'll debate anybody. Well, except for fucking sissy ass bitches.
Dude, just put down your purse. You can flail with both hands. God damn.
I understand that y'all are a bunch of video gaming, TV watching, pretend fucking men. I get that. I wasn't going to bring that up during the debate, though. I mean, that was for the audience to understand.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to get it.
That was going to become evident.
Yeah. Like, I wasn't going to point it out, you know. It's not my fault that you couldn't fucking slog through fucking, you know, half the shit on my farm and freaking still stand upright. It's not my fault. That's okay. Like, that's the weirdest part to me is these conservative heads now aren't your old school conservative heads. These aren't the farm type people. These aren't anything like that. These are video game playing, you know. Oh, I'm manly. Why? Because you drink beer? Because you like
I drank Miller Lite and I used to listen to Rush Limbaugh when I was a kid.
Yeah. Like you play Red Dead Revolver instead of fucking whatever rainbow fantasy game. Like
I'm a cowboy in the two-dimensional world.
Yeah. Like
okay. All right. That's great.
You know,
buds. That's great.
So I get it. I understand why you guys are fucking scared. You know, it's hard to fucking. It's hard when somebody actually lives a life that you kind of pretend like you do. Actually, is the person you're pretending to be, but that's, you know,
right. Yeah, I mean, you know that you sit down when you pee. You do. And
especially Dyer.
You illustrate that for everybody on a daily basis.
Yeah, you purposely wear pink as a man. On purpose.
Oh shit.
And think you're cool doing it. You think Miami Vice was somebody to look up to. You didn't realize that those were two blazing homos that nobody should have ever thought was cool. And you're like, yes. You know what? I would like to wear a pink shirt and pop my collar and white pants and get pegged.
For Jesus. Oh man. Got
Like,
that
really?
crucifix shaped dildo going right up in your chocolate whiz wham.
It's bright pink though. That makes it not gay.
Oh boy. Now we're just being
It's
mean.
Easter time. Spring equinox.
I meant all of that.
When everything's in balance, coming.
Apparently the Yuga cycle flips on the 21st in 3
That's
days.
good.
And then we have that 300-year buffer period.
And we just got to wait that out, and things will start getting cool again, huh?
Right. Well, it's got to go from what? Iron to bronze to silver to gold. So we've got about 20,000 years before it actually gets good again.
You know what? Silver's, you know what? Like
Silver's okay.
Silver's okay. Like I can live with that.
Silver is old and wise.
I wasn't even asking for like the best. Like silver's pretty good. Like you look at comic books, the silver era comic books, that was good comic books.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
no argument there.
That was probably the last time I read comic books, but
I'm gonna, if we're rapping, I'm gonna play us out with a song about why giant multinational corporations that pillage rural areas suck ass.
Sounds excellent.
Yeah, this is John Prine doing his song with Sturgill Simpson. Man, couple of legends up here. You guys rock. Thank you for hanging out, man. We appreciate all of you. We do. We'll see you next week. We'll see you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.